This is FM Alyssa Melakina. Thanks for tuning in to another one of my videos for online chess lessons. My previous 3 videos all concerned openings. I covered the C3 Sicilian, Advanced French, and King's Indian Defense. I thought I would switch gears and focus on something more universal, fighting in the endgame. I'm going to demonstrate this principle with 2 of my own games, one in which I fought back to save a lost ending and drew, and another in which I managed to pull off a win in a completely drawn ending. Fighting in the endgame is an extremely important skill, something that can help you rack up those extra points, and those extra points do add up. Top grandmasters have the luxury of accepting quick draws because they know there's no point in playing on in a dry position, and they would rather refocus on the next game. However, I would say that even up to the 2600 level, there's always room for error, and you should fight to the end. But keep in mind that fighting in the endgame is a skill, as opposed to theoretical endgame knowledge. I'm not going to cover specific endgame theory. That theory is easy enough to pick up. Any basic endgame manual should feature must-know endgame technique. It's more difficult, however, to pick up this fighting spirit, which is more of an attitude and resourcefulness than anything else. That's why I thought this would be a good subject to cover in the medium of a video. Hopefully, by hearing firsthand how a master approaches a position and the underlying thought process will allow you to pick up on themes that you can apply to your own thinking in your own games. As I mentioned, I'm going to go over a game in which I held an endgame a pawn down and managed to draw, and one in which I pulled off a win in a drawn ending. These 2 games may not be the perfect exemplars of endgame technique, but they do provide solid examples for the following concepts that I want you to take away. When you're trying to hold a position, first, recognize when the nature of the position has changed and adjust your mindset. Even if you've been on the offensive for the last few moves, a sudden liquidation may expose your weaknesses, and you have to be mentally ready to switch gears and play defensively. Second, now this may be easier said than done, but try to make it as difficult as possible for your opponent to execute his plan. This can involve exchanging any pieces that he can use to compromise your position, even if you're material down and normally would not want to exchange. It is important to keep resistance up and not sit back and merely shuffle back and forth. Even if you are no longer playing for a win, make sure you're still playing. There's a corollary of this principle that extends to equal positions where you're fighting for a win.